This morning, our series, Protecting the Planet, looks at the cost of fashion, not the price tags on the outfits, but the toll on our environment, and it's a big cost. Tomorrow, Britain's Prince William will hand out his annual Earthshot Prize in Singapore. 5 winners from around the globe will each win $1.2 million for their new ideas to fight climate change. Senior national and environmental correspondent, that would be Ben Tracy, introduces us to a finalist based in Virginia that has found a solution to one of the clothing industry's biggest problems.
What tends to happen when our clothes go out of style gives the fashion industry a bad look.
The fashion and textile industry is one of the most wasteful industries in the world.
Connor Hartman is Chief Operating Officer of Cirque, a climate tech startup trying to refashion the clothing industry.
The world is producing more than 100 million tons of textiles every 12 months. It's equivalent in weight to 1 million Boeing 757s.
The fashion industry is responsible for about 10% of annual planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions, mainly through manufacturing and transportation of clothing. That's more than the emissions of all international air travel and maritime shipping combined. And because of the growth of cheap, trendy clothing called fast fashion, those emissions are projected to increase by more than 50% by 2030.
Where does most of our used clothing end up?
Most of it is ending up in landfills or incineration. There's a garbage truck of fashion waste that is dumped every second of every day.
Some used clothing is exported to foreign countries where it's piled up on the western shores of Africa or dumped in the deserts of Chile. The average piece of clothing in the U.S. is now worn just 7 times, and worldwide less than 1% of textile waste gets recycled back into textiles. That's because most of our clothes are a blend of cotton and polyester, which is essentially plastic, making them nearly impossible to recycle.
It's like a little mad scientist.
But here at its pilot facility, the Cirque team cracked the code, inventing a way to separate the two through a chemical process.
Our process, for lack of a better term, is a pressure cooker.
So it's a very fancy Instapot.
It's a very fancy Instapot.
The chemical reaction liquefies the polyester.
It's really great stuff, but you don't want to drink it.
Yeah.
While the cotton remains intact. The liquid polyester is turned into plastic chips, and both materials can then be used to make new clothes.
How long did it take you guys to figure this out?
It took our scientific team a couple of weeks to put the pieces together.
The company is headquartered in Danville, Virginia, once a bustling hub for textiles and tobacco. Cirque first focused on turning tobacco leaves into biofuels and then repurposed that technology to figure out how to recycle polycotton clothing.
We released the very first consumer products that were derived from polycotton waste, and it was a 4-piece collection that Zara designed.
Cirque is also partnering with Patagonia, is backed by Bill Gates' Breakthrough Ventures, and has now attracted the attention of the future King of England.
We can overcome our planet's greatest challenges.
Cirque is a finalist for a $1.2 million Earthshot Prize.
To get this level of recognition for a solution that we know is going to be the future is really inspiring for us.
They plan to open their first industrial-scale factory by 2026 and replicate them around the world, recycling billions of pieces of clothing.
So is your hope that we can get to a point where no clothing goes into a landfill or to an incinerator ever again?
Absolutely, because we have all the clothes we need to make all the clothes we'll ever need.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Ben Tracy in Danville, Virginia.